All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of Ruel, honors and shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, I'm Alazar Lawyer here. I'm just doing this quick. I just got done watching the full debate between Bro Polight from the New Covenant and brother Taza Rayak from ISUPK. You know, New Covenant, Nubian, Egyptologist versus Hebrew Israelites. It was a good debate. Brother Taza Rayak definitely destroyed Polight, and as a Hebrew Israelite, I understand people might find my opinion as biased, but it's just how deep the brother went in on him and how much extras that Polight was incorporating to try to oversell his victory. He's like a Lil Wayne type of rapper, man. A rapper that bars aren't as good as he sells them to be, or as people hype them up to be, when you really sit here and analyze the things he was saying in comparison to the things that brother was saying. The brother, he got him. Not saying that Polight didn't make some good points, not saying that he wasn't looking strong at times, but the fact of the matter is that the brother came and he executed, man. He executed, and us in ISUPK, we don't even see eye to eye on all things, but I can definitely say, as a representative of the nation of Israel and as a representative of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the spirit was on that man of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai to do that, man. You see what I'm saying? Because he was coming in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord was not going to allow his name to be, shamed. Okay? But I just want to read this scripture real quick. And it's a scripture I love to bring out, just like we brought out the video me and the brother Tazama did on called Polight's Ideology Exposed and Destroyed, man. This is a beautiful scripture, and it pretty much explains every situation that we encounter with these guys, Polight, and people who are like-minded as him. This is Proverbs 18:17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just. So Polight, he went first, he had the first round, and he seemed just with the things he was saying, okay? But let's continue. But his neighbor cometh and searcheth him out, and that's what Taza Rayak did. In that situation, he came and he searched his ass out and got to the bottom of his bullshit, deep into the bottom of his bullshit. And I was impressed, man, at the research that the brother did and all that, man. You see what I'm saying? So I want to talk about some of the things, some observations I made throughout the debate, some of the things that may have not got addressed by the brother. And this is just going to be part one. There's other stuff I watched the whole debate, then I just started to rewatch it and jot some things down. And I know as I watched the rest of it, and as other brothers, that's in the camp, watch the rest of it and come with their observations and whatnot, that, we're going to have other parts to it, if it be the Lord's will. One of the first things I want to point out is, number one, or I'm going to read this scripture too real quick. In Daniel, I brought this out. You go to the Exodus 1715 channel, that's it's like an XODUS 1715. It's our highway channel where we on the streets teaching. I brought this out a couple weeks ago in a series entitled Edomites and Egyptologists Are Stupid, okay? Because that's just really what it is. You people are stupid. And I'm going to bring this out real quick for edification purposes, because I want to talk about all this Africanism and all this Hamitic, bullshit. But let's get to the bottom of that real quick. Let's go into the time of Daniel when we were under captivity to the Babylonians, which are actual Africans, actual Hamites, of the descendants of Ham's son Cush, okay? This is Daniel 1, and I'm going to start at verse 1. In the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar, to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. So he said, get certain of these Israelites, okay? And it's verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom. So he said, let me go get these wise Israelites, okay? And cunning in knowledge. They had cunning knowledge, okay? And understanding science, understood the science and all that. So basically, they wanted to go get the Israelites who had the knowledge in all things. But I thought these Sumerians and these Babylonians were so great and so wise. Why do they have to come get the Israelites to come teach them something? As we finna read right here. And understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. Okay, so he said, well, let me get all the wisest of the Hebrews and let me teach them our language so they can in turn teach us what they know and give us their wisdom and give us their gain. You see what I'm saying? That was Africans that did that. But I thought Africans were the mother of everything and they was the wisest people on the earth. It don't make no sense, man. You see what I'm saying? The scriptures are against you niggas and plain facts is against you niggas. Your facts are all Esau or the so-called white man's facts for all those of you that don't understand. But I'm going to get to the first thing. Okay? And forgive me. I'm trying to use this whiteboard, but it might not show up that good on the video. You know, Salaki, if it does, real quick. Al-Shaji. That's what we're going to deal with first. Or El Shaddai, as he said. He said Shad means breast. We're going to go into that. Because Shad don't mean breast. This nigga Polight got up there and outright lied and was talking about contortionism. Nigga, you're an Egyptologist, nigga. That's where contortionism comes from Egypt when you go into it, man. Okay, when you deal with the history of it. So who's going to be the master of contorting things other than you, since you study Egypt so much? But anyway, he said Al-Shaja, or El Shaddai, as it said in the Yiddish form. We speak the real Hebrew, it's Al-Shaja, okay? I'm gonna write try to write as dark as I can. And I'm gonna write the transliterated form of Al-Shaja. There, if you can see it. A-H-L-A-S-H-A-D-Y-A. Al-Shaja, okay? Or that's the real way to say El Shaddai in the Paleo form of the Hebrew. Now understand something. He said that the Shad in Al-Shaja means breast. No, it does not. That's a goddamn lie. Look it up yourself, okay? It's Strong's H. Number one, Al-Shaja. You go to Strong's H 7706, and that's Al-Shaja, okay? Go to Strong's H 7703 to find the root word of Al-Shaja, which is Shaddad, okay? Shaddad. And what does it mean? It means to deal violently. That has nothing to do with a breast. Nothing at all to do with the breast. It's to deal violently, okay? Let's go into the cuneiform, though. Let's go into the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet and see how you write Al-Shaja, okay? And see if it means teeth, nipple, head. Al-Shaja, the A. The A, that's the goat head, man, okay? For the sacrifice. That's the A, all right? That's what it symbolizes, but it comes sideways in the Hebrew, okay? A, that's the L, okay? That's Allah, or L as it appears in the Yiddish form. And then Shaja, okay? He got that right, the teeth, okay? That resembles some teeth. I'll give him that. Al-Shad, but this is the D. A triangle, okay? Like the brother already went into when he was breaking down the shield of David. The triangle. Does a triangle look like a fucking nipple? No, I've never seen a bitch with a triangular nipple. Okay, that's ridiculous. So, is that teeth, nipple, head? No, it's not, all right? Or let's go into the Yah. Al-Shad Yah. This is the Yah. Does that look like somebody's head? It looks similar to the English form of the letter Z. So we got a Z, we got a pyramid, and we got what appears to be a W. And he's talking about that means teeth, head, teeth, nipple, head. Nigga, you're crazy. That means to do violently, man. Okay, that's what the Shad means, all right? Al-Shaja, okay? See, but you seem it right, and forgive me if you can't see it. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in just so everybody can see what I'm talking about, man. Okay, just in case you can't see it. Real quick. See that? Al-Shaddai. Does this right here look like teeth? I mean, okay, I'll give you this looks like teeth, but does that look like a nipple to you? You ever seen a bitch with a nipple that looks like that? And you ever seen somebody with a head that's shaped like that? No, you have not, okay? So that's not what that means. So don't let this nigga fool you with his bullshit, okay? All right, let's move on. Okay, I just wanted to get into that real quick. Again, if you don't believe me, go into the Hebrew word for El Shaddai is in the Strong's Concordance H7706, and the root word for it, Shaddai, is H7703. It don't got nothing to do with no type of breast, okay? It's to deal violently. That's why they called him that, because he was violently getting rid of niggas, man, okay? That's why they called him that. God Almighty, all right? All right, now I want to talk about something else. He accused David of being a homosexual, okay? Which is a low blow, a move of desperation, and the nigga got nerve to say that, okay? Because look, number one, I'm not even going to talk about Dr. York. I wouldn't generally speak about Dr. York's sexuality or the case that Esau done put on him or none of that, okay? Because me, I know that Esau lies and trumps up charges when you got a black man that leading other black people. I understand that. But he does have some homosexual tendencies, especially with that black Pee Wee Herman picture the brother put up. And that whole deal with that boy who basically allegorically told us in that poem that he was raped by York. Okay, but the fact of the matter is this: if you're gonna talk about somebody's sexuality and call David a homosexual, you need to really check yourself before you do that when your master teacher has insurmountable evidence that he's a homosexual. It doesn't even make any sense. But y'all want to talk about York. Y'all want to talk about York. He's incarcerated. You keep talking about the people of the Bible. They ain't here to defend themselves. So we here to defend them. So you here to defend your master teacher, Dr. York. So don't fucking bitch when we get on that nigga, man. Okay? Don't make no kind of goddamn sense. All right? Real quick. And the thing is, he talking about York talking, they locked up York and York taught against y'all. If York was so against the Hebrew Israelites, tell me why at Taberah he had a flag to represent us. If he taught against us so much and he wanted Hebrew Israelites to come and move to Taberah. You see what I'm saying? See, I know about York, man. I know about you niggas. I've been doing my research on you niggas, man. Okay? So don't play that bullshit. Talking a whole bunch of bullshit. Nigga, we know about you niggas, man. Okay? If York was so against us, why did he have a flag denoting us at Taberah, man? Please answer me that, nigga. Okay, let's go to the next one, though. Let's go to the next order of business on you weak nigga, man. I really thought you was gonna make this debate a whole lot better. I'm gonna come honest with you, man. I'm gonna come real honest with you. You see what I'm saying? Dude is in prison for doing all kind of shit, man. And you talking about and you got the nerve to call somebody out on sexuality. Your master teacher wrote a book called Sodomy Misinterpreted, and you got the nerve to comment on somebody else's sexuality. Nigga, you out of your mind, man. And David, they said, listen, the so-called white man came up with the theory that David was a homosexual because he loved Jonathan, okay? Is there something wrong with loving you? You mean to tell me you ain't got no nigga out there that you love? Like, man, I love that nigga. That's my nigga. Not on no faggot shit. He had love for Jonathan. That was his best friend in the world, man. All right? That's what that's dealing with, okay? Not that he was a homosexual. You sick ass nigga. When you got nerve with your Pee Wee Herman ass fucking master teacher, that faggot York, man. All right? Nigga got nerve, man. Okay? But I'm gonna move on to my next point, man. Real quick. I'm gonna try to breeze through this because I know I'm gonna have to do a part 2, maybe even a part 3 of this motherfucker, okay? Real quick, you quoted Khalid Muhammad in your opening. You quoted Khalid Muhammad. Khalid Muhammad knew he was an Israelite, nigga. So what the fuck you got to say about that? And you know that because Elder Tahar told you that when you went down to see the elders of GMS on 34th and 7th, how Khalid Muhammad used to come to One West and ask for Tahar or ask for Ariyah or ask for Yeshaya, man. All right, nigga? So, but you gonna quote that nigga in a debate against the Hebrew Israelites. You can't debate the Hebrew Israelites and quote a nigga that claimed to be a Hebrew Israelite, even though he was following the Muslim doctrine. You see what I'm saying? Then this nigga want to quote Marcus Garvey. And what did Marcus Garvey say? He said you got black people who no good to us here, and it will be no good to us there on this back to Africa thing. Okay? Even though he was talking that back to Africa bullshit, he was partially on point. Okay? Why was he partially on point? Because he knew we had to be separated from these devils. Okay? And he knew that all of our people wasn't good for us. Okay? And Polight, you one of them niggas that's not good for us. And what he said was in alignment with the scriptures. And I'm gonna prove that. Let's go to Zechariah, the 13th chapter, the 8th verse. It's Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a 3rd part shall be left therein. So what is that talking about? That's talking about 2/3 of the nation of Israel shall be cut off and die. Okay, when you take 2/3 and you convert it into the percentages, what is it? 66.6%. Hence why the devil's number is 666, because 66.6% of God's chosen people, the nation of Israel, of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, will be given to the devil and die right along with his people, the crackers, here in this place, man. Okay? But that's why Marcus Garvey said what he said. He said you got some of our people that are no good to us now, and they won't be no good to us in the kingdom. Okay? And God said the same thing. That's why God said 2/3 of our people got to die in this place and then come back in their right mind in the kingdom, man. You see what I'm saying? Just breaking down your bullshit, nigga. Okay? And I'm going to do a lesson real soon on you back to Africa. Mama Africa, want to be Hamitic niggas. Don't worry. I got a big lesson coming for you niggas here in a second, man. I got a big lesson. that's coming up through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm probably going to call it Africa and Israel in proper perspective, man. And we're going to put all this shit in proper perspective. We're going to break down the migrations of all the peoples and everything, man. And show you how Africa is not the motherland and how really a lot of the Africans didn't even come from Africa, got pushed into Africa just like we got pushed into Africa and then sold into slavery by the Africans to the white man. Okay? But you niggas love Africa, but they ain't get on a boat with us, nigga. They put us on a motherfucking boat. But you do have some of our people over there though still. But you know, that's another topic, which we're gonna get into all that. Just look out for that lesson. It's all gas on you niggas, man, for the record. Okay? Real quick, and then he was again touching back on our people in Africa. He was talking about the white man gave you the Bible. You didn't have the Bible until the white man. Why don't you go get a book called Hebrewisms of West Africa and show you how the Igbo, the Ashanti, and countless other groups in West Africa who was taken into slavery had records and had Hebrew customs and had the Torah and had the Tanakh and things of that nature and the New Testament, all that in Africa before the crackers came in on them shores and put us into slavery, nigga. You a goddamn liar. You don't do your research. Then this nigga, him and Shaka Amos, want to do a damn, in that video called The Three Wise Men, which really should have been called The Three Blind Mice, when you had that Muslim nigga Shaka Amos and Brother Polight up there, and Sarnetta was recording the three fucking blind mice, and they want to talk about, in the book, Hebrew is Greek, which is a bullshit book presenting the theory that Hebrew is a derivative of Greek and not vice versa, which I'm gonna get to in a second, which is total bullshit. Anyway, talking about this says the oldest synagogue is in Delos, Greece. Nigga, you better do your research, man, okay? Because what you niggas do is just read a book and just believe the bullshit. But you accuse us of doing the same thing. Nigga, the oldest synagogue is actually located in Egypt, okay? And the dedication to that synagogue, it denotes Ptolemy the First, which places it at least over 100 years later than the one in Delos, Greece. And the one in Delos, Greece is not even confirmed to be a synagogue. It's only speculated that it's a synagogue, number one. Number two, it's carbon dated. So we already proved in our last lesson, Polight's ideology exposed and destroyed, that carbon dating is bullshit with countless facts. You see what I'm saying? So that's all bullshit. The oldest one is actually in Egypt. Nigga, you should have played that. You should have actually did more research, found out the oldest one was in Egypt and try to use it to your advantage on this pro-Egypt bullshit. Okay? But you're flabbergasted at the fact that we have synagogues outside of Israel. Nigga, synagogues was a place of worship for us outside of Israel. Why? Because in Jerusalem we have the temple, nigga. We didn't need a synagogue in Jerusalem. We had the temple. You're fucking retarded, dude. There's something called the diaspora. Okay, you have the Hellenistic period. You had a lot of Israelites that went into Egypt and other places throughout Asia Minor, all over the place. We had to build synagogues there for our own place of worship while we was displaced from our homeland, nigga. It's not a crazy, that's why do you think Muslims and Arabs come to America and they build mosques in America? Because they're not in Mecca, so they got to build a mosque here to have a place of worship while they're not in their homeland. It's not a far-fetched concept, man. You couldn't debate your way out of a wet paper bag, nigga. You're so weak, and that's why you seem if just when you talk at first. But you have brothers that's in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that come with scriptures, they come with historical fact, that come with pure logic and common sense and break your ass down, man. All you people that's following this new covenant bullshit, man. You nigga, and then he talking about, I got all these ex-gangbangers, ex-Crip superiors that's running with me. Nigga, them niggas should have stayed in the street killing niggas gangbanging, because that's better than being bugged out in some bullshit philosophy, man. And I'm just gonna come straight, man. Because what you niggas is doing is giving niggas false hope and killing niggas through a whole different philosophy, killing niggas psychologically, man. At least when a nigga gangbanging, he know he living wrong, man. You niggas is living wrong as hell and you don't even know it. That's the cold part about it. Okay, but I'm going to get to the next point, man. Okay, and then, let's break down something about ISUPK though real quick. Because you didn't even break down the history of ISUPK, right? Okay? You had ISUPK. Alright? Founded in 1969 by Abba Bivens. Before that, you had a group called the Commandment Keepers. That predates ISUPK. Okay, but the Commandment Keepers was on some Jewish shit, okay? And they didn't accept the Latinos and Native Americans as Hebrew Israelites. Now, Abba Bivens was taught by an ex-slave that black people were Hebrew Israelites, okay? And then after he spent time on a couple Indian reservations on his way back up to New York from the South, okay, he came to the conclusion through the Spirit and reading the scriptures that there was also our people, which is clear in the scriptures and clear through his history, because we're the main people that the so-called white man has oppressed. We're the main people that's in jail. The Lord, who Jesus Christ, who the world calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai, he said he is coming to set free the captives. Who is the primary captives in these prisons in this white man society? Oh, the black and Hispanic man. Out here in California, there's more Hispanics locked up than there is blacks. All right? But anyway, he came to that conclusion. The commandment keepers wasn't with it, so he founded ISUPK in 1969. Okay? Later on, much later on, around the time of 1996, the name was changed from ISUPK to ICUPK. Okay? This ISUPK that Tazi Iraq and Johanna and them is representing is a de facto ISUPK. Now, they became ICUPK. This is when splits started happening. This is about 96, 97. The splits ain't have nothing to do with the year 2000 prophecy. The split was happening 3 to 4 years before that happened. Okay? You had ICUPK, then out of ICUPK, that came House of David, HOD. And like the brother Taji Iraq said, out of House of David, there spring your IUIC and your GMS. And your We Got Next. And even your GOCC. Alright? What happened was ICUPK later then changed its name to ICGJC. Alright? Israelite Church of God Jesus Christ. So the real ISUPK, it's like a franchise, okay? For example, you got the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to use the example. The Indianapolis Colts, you had the original Baltimore Colts, okay? The Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Colts then moved to Cleveland and became the Cleveland Browns, okay? Then you later had the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts were formed. Now, the Indianapolis Colts are a de facto form of the Colts. The original Colts are actually the Cleveland Browns. You see what I'm saying? Just like in basketball, you got the Charlotte Hornets. There was originally the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets. Then what happened? They moved to New Orleans. Became the New Orleans Hornets. Now they're the New Orleans Pelicans. And now the Charlotte Bobcats put in a petition to become the Charlotte Hornets again. So they're not the actual franchise of the Charlotte Hornets. They're a de facto version. The Indianapolis Colts are not the actual Colts franchise. The Browns are. They're a de facto version. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. And that's what the ISUPK that Tazi Iraq and Johanna are members of are. Because again, ISUPK became ICUPK, which became ICGJC. Out of ICUPK came the House of David, which came Israel United Christ, Great Millstone, We Got Next, and Gathering of Christ Church. Then in 2006, General Yohana revived ISUPK. How did he do that? Because the school, known as ISUPK, did not have a 501c charter until they became ICUPK, which is Israelite Church of Universal and Practical Knowledge. With that fact being there, Yohana took advantage of that and said ISUPK and got his 501c3 charter, which we are against the 501c3 charter. All Israelite groups do not have 501c3 charters. I believe only IUIC, ISUPK, and GOCC actually have 501c3 charters. We're against it. That's of the devil. And the main thing that they don't want you to teach, especially in the case of ISUPK and IUIC, is that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip, which these crackers are getting ready to implement. All right. Real quick, just want to give you that history lesson. That ISUPK is not the real ISUPK. It's a de facto ISUPK. And the only reason that they could even claim the name of ISUPK is because ISUPK, as ISUPK, did not have a 501c3 tax exemption charter. They didn't have one until they became ICUPK and then later changed their name to ICGJC. All right. Just wanted to kind of bring that out. Let me move to my next point, though. Oh yeah, real quick, I want to get on my next point because he was trying to bring up Abraham and Abraham is Brahma and You could have actually, my nigga, truth be told, if you really wanted to cut, you could have went further than that. You could have tried to exploit that point and went really deep, but you didn't. Why? Because you don't know anything and you don't really study. You see what I'm saying? Real quick. Abraham, he said Abraham, Brahma. It's an anagram of Brahma. I mean, it sounds good, my nigga, but like the brother Tazi Iraq said, it's not, that's not Hebrew. You going in English. You going in the English translation or transliteration of that word and trying to make it an anagram of an entirely different language. What that's doing is stretching. But I can't blame you for doing that because your master teacher is Malachi York, the master at doing shit like that. Like that brother brought up the thing of Isis, Ra, and El. Israel is Yasharallah, so you can't put Isis, Ra, El in that. It just doesn't make sense. But let me go to this point. Abraham and the brother Tazi Rock, you got to brush up on your Lashon Kodash, your Hebrew brother, because you broke Abraham down wrong. Abraham's name is not Abba Raham, it's Abba Ryan, okay? Meaning father of many or exalted father, okay? And that's like this. Real quick, so loud. Ba Rayam. So loud. Let me get this M right, this Ma right. Ryan, okay? I'm gonna write the transliterated form. Ba Rayam. Okay, sounds nothing like Brahma. Okay, I mean, I guess if you take the B and you put the B in front of the A and then bring the M in and drop the R and the Y, yeah, but you kind of got to do a lot. You would have to change. You would have to take the B, put it in front of the A, take the A, put it behind the M, and totally drop the R and the Y. So that wouldn't make any sense. What that is a stretch. Okay, and then Polight, your dumbass made the statement that Keturah and Keturah and Hagar are the same. They're not the same. Hagar was Sarah's handmaid. Keturah was the woman who we found after Sarah's death, nigga. Come on now. Come on, you got to do a little more research than that and stop listening to this bullshit theory that the crackers cook up. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna zoom y'all in on this to show you that this is not anything like Brahma. Okay. And you could have went harder on that again. Ba. Okay, that's the ba right there. It kind of got erased. That's the ba. That's the ra. That's the ya. And that's the m. Abba Ryan, father of many or exalted father. Here's the transliterated form here for you brothers. You see that? Abba Ryan. You would have to take the B, put it here, take the A, put it at the end, take the M, that's at the end, put it in the middle, and drop the R and the Y to, do what the fuck this nigga's talking about. Well, there's a whole lot of work to do when you ain't got to do that. Moreover, let's move to our next point. Move to the next point. Let's get into the year 2000 prophecy. Now, here's the thing about the year 2000 prophecy. And they did go off with that prophecy, but there's a reason they went off with that prophecy. Oh, they could probably got some type of excuse. It's actually a logical excuse. You can accept it and believe it or not. It's fine. But the fact of the matter is the year 2000 prophecy. As the Bible says, a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. Okay? Now it said that the Lord is going to make his return on the third day. Okay? So as soon as the year 2000 hit, we began the third day. The year 2000 was like what today would be known as midnight. Oh, let me get this, turn this light on. The year 2000 is pretty like midnight or the beginning of the third day. So that's why they said that. But see, they did go off with that because the fact of the matter is that number one, the Lord said no man knoweth the time but the Father. The Son don't even know the time. So the Most High God, Yahweh, he the only person who know what time he's finna send them back. You understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. They went off on that and I'm kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, they went off on that, but because the scriptures again say that the Lord was going to come back on the third day. The year 2000 was the start of the third day. But the third day is, a day is 1,000 years long. So technically the Lord can come back at any period of time between the year 2000 and the year 3000. In the mind state that we're in, we're always hastening the day. The scriptures say to hasten the day. So they was basically being optimists and wanting the Lord to come back. So they started teaching that. And they went off, and that was, off. Nobody's perfect, man. You see what I'm saying? Brothers have since corrected that doctrine. You see what I'm saying? And, we're hoping that it happens tomorrow, man, today, right now. You see what I'm saying? That's the mindset we're in. We're not in the mindset of buying real estate up and trying to live big in this place and becoming sovereigns and doing all this next level shit. We're in the mindset of the Lord taking this place down, taking this so-called white man down, and putting the black and Hispanic and Native American man in our proper place on thrones above everybody on the planet Earth. If you're not with that, then fuck it. That's period. Okay, I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Okay, and then look, and then so Polight, you claiming we stole and plagiarized, the Bible is stolen and plagiarized from Africa. But here's the thing, my nigga. The majority of the evidence that you brought to support your claim that the Bible was plagiarized was not from Africa. Samaria, like you said, is in modern day Iraq, which is in the Middle East, which is in Asia. Technically, is not in Africa. And then the other point you was bringing out was from India, which again is in Asia, not in Africa. So the fact of the matter, I thought we stole it from Africa, even though the brother went and showed how we didn't steal it from Africa, and how the reason why all that shit sounds similar to the Bible is because the crackers that translated the bullshit made it sound like the Bible and didn't even know what the fuck they were doing in translating it, because they had no reference point for them languages, because nobody on the earth alive spoke the shit. You see what I'm saying? So according to you and the shit that you brought, we didn't plagiarize it from Africa. That's from the Middle East and East Asia. You see what I'm saying? Which we didn't plagiarize it from that. They really stole it from us. All right, nigga? And it proves that in the way that they translated the shit. Okay? And then this nigga want to talk about the damn abortion, man. Okay? He talking about abortion. He tried to come up there and say abortion, the man supposed to teach the woman. But when a woman gets an abortion, we got to blame the woman. Yeah, we got to blame the woman. Let me tell you something, man. And I'm just going to come straight about my own personal story. About a year ago, my woman was with child, okay? And her mother was trying to get her to get an abortion. You see what I'm saying? Her mother was literally, my woman was trying to have the child, dealing with me. You see what I'm saying? My child. You know what I mean? And her mother was trying to encourage her to get an abortion once her mother found out that she couldn't get a welfare check for my woman having a kid. She wanted her daughter to kill her child because she couldn't get no money off of it. That's the mind state and the mentality of the black woman. That's not no bullshit. That's not no stereotype. That's not me drawing a conclusion about somebody. That's literally something that I and my woman, my wife, experienced. You see what I'm saying? That's the ideology and the mindset of the black woman. So did the black man come and tell her to get an abortion? Was it a black man in that situation? No, it was her mother that told her to get an abortion. And when she told her father, look, her pops called her. When she told her father, look, I'm trying to have this baby. He was like, fuck it. You want to have the baby, you can have the baby. But her mother was pushing her like a motherfucker to get an abortion. Why? Because that's the ideology and the mindset of the black woman. If she couldn't get a check off that motherfucking baby, she wasn't having the shit. And that's why the scriptures say they shall devour, our women shall devour our children in one of all things. That's exactly what that was, man. So don't give me that bullshit of, and now it's the man's fault that the woman is getting an abortion. It's the woman's fault. If the man encouraged the woman to get an abortion, then I'll put that on him all day, every day. But any Israelite man that discouraged the woman to get an abortion and was there and didn't want that to happen, and the woman did that anyway, that's on that bitch. Or her mother or her homegirl tried to do it, that's on them demonic ass black women that did the shit, man. And that's not all black women. I ain't saying that. But that's what a lot of our women, that's their mindset, man. Okay? That's why we get on their ass, and that's why the bitch ain't God. Nigga. Let me get to my next point, and real quick, we're going to hit the scriptures that he was talking about in 1 Timothy, which he brought out. Let's go to 1 Timothy 2 and 12. It's 1 Timothy 2 and 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So I said, I suffer not a woman to teach. So he said, a woman can't teach the Bible? You're right. A woman cannot teach the Bible to a man. A woman can't walk in here and start breaking scriptures down to me. But a woman can teach in a certain sense. And I'm going to tell you what that sense is. Let's go to Titus, the 2nd chapter. My favorite. One of my favorites. Especially in dealing with the woman. Because it puts it in proper perspective. And it doesn't exalt her to, give her some false sense of rulership and authority. Like Polight and them niggas' ideology and doctrine does. And people say, you chauvinistic. It's not being chauvinistic. It's being orderly, nigga. All right? Now, this is Titus 2. And I'm going to start here at verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. Okay, so when my woman's mother was trying to encourage her to get an abortion or try to encourage her daughters to date around, especially my woman's older sister, oh, you need to date around. You need to date a lot of guys. You see what I'm saying? When they do that, that's not behavior that becometh holiness. That's what our women are supposed to be teaching. They're supposed to be teaching their daughters how to conduct themselves as women, to get respect. Because the reason why you guys are so disrespectful to women, these women are not carrying themselves as women of respect. So what are they going to receive from us? Disrespect. Okay. Verse 3, Titus 2 though. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. Not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. Okay, so yeah, they are supposed to be teaching. They're supposed to be teaching the young women good things. Teaching your young woman to go kill another black child is not a good thing. Teaching your young woman to be a slut is not a good thing. But a lot of our black women, that's what they are teaching their young women. So yes, these women need to shut the fuck up and be taught by the man, according to the Holy Bible, how to properly conduct themselves so they can go pass that on to the younger women and give them younger advice. And we have a better people and a stronger nation, nigga. God damn, you niggas is dumb, man. Let me finish this though. This is verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober, okay? To be sober in mind and sober in body. To love their husbands, okay? And our women don't love our women have a problem really showing their love to their husbands. Why? Because their mother had a problem showing their daddy love. You see what I'm saying? This is a cycle, nigga. And when you exalting a black woman when she doesn't deserve to be exalted, you participate and contribute to the wicked cycle that's fucking destroying our people, man. Okay? To love their husbands, to love their children. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to be teaching these women. But these women ain't loving their children, man, or their husbands. This is verse 5, to be discreet. We're supposed to be teaching our women to be discreet. Your woman ain't being discreet, nigga. And you over here parading your woman around like she's a fucking prostitute, dude. You should be ashamed of your goddamn self, man. I shouldn't have to look at your woman. You talking about you want niggas to lust after your woman. Why would you want me to lust after your woman, man? That's what you want. But I know why, because you like creating wickedness and confusion, because you're a wicked nigga, man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to keep going, though. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home. That's why you shouldn't have your women out with you all the time, because the motherfucking women is supposed to beat their ass at home, according to the Bible. Okay, good, obedient to their own husbands. They supposed to obey their husbands. You see what I'm saying? You talking about you be doing this, you guys is commanding the women around, you evil as hell to the women. No, but they supposed to obey what the man say. Because the Lord say the anointing floweth from the head. Okay, that's period. And who is the head of the woman? The man. So the Lord gives the man the instruction to instruct their woman. Now, if a man is not properly instructing their woman, that woman shouldn't have got with that man. All right? That's period. To be obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. So all you women out there that's not obeying your husbands and being wicked as hell on this black woman as God shit, usurping yourself over a man, guess what? You blaspheming the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you will receive your fucking recompense for that. Okay? But I'm going to move on to my next point, man. Okay? And then, okay, let's get into this so real quick. Genetically, these brothers make a statement, and certain brothers, they make this statement, and I understand why they make this statement, but their statement isn't actually accurate, okay? And that's the statement that genetically, we are more closely related to the so-called white man than we are to the African, to the Hamitic people. That's really not true, okay? In the inception of Israel, when Jacob and Esau came out of Rebekah's womb, you could say that. But at this point in time, you can't say that we are more genetically closer to the so-called white man than the so-called black man. Why is that? Because we have, not the so-called black man, but the so-called African or Hamitic man. Because over the course of time, and the Bible tells you, and I just want to set this out there for brothers who say that, and I understand why you say that, but I want to put it in proper perspective. In all actuality, over the process of time, we have intermingled and taken with the Hamitic people more than any other people on the face of the earth. So technically, at this point in time, we are actually closer genetically to Hamites than we are to Edomites. All right, and I'm gonna prove that. Let's go to Ezra. Look at Ezra 9:1. And I just want to clean it up because I understand why you Kemetic niggas is such an uproar when brothers make that statement, and at the same time I understand why that statement is being made. But I just want to take it all and I want to put it all in proper perspective. Now, this does not make us Hamitic. This does not make Africa our motherland, but we have mixed with the so-called Africans a whole lot over the course of time. Okay, going back into Egypt, we mixed with them. Of course, that's how we became such a great nation. Of course, we were taking the Egyptian women. When we got over to the land of Canaan, we was mixing with the Canaanites. Then when we got driven out of our land, we went into Africa. We were mixing with the Africans again. Okay, so let's go to Ezra 9:1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even to the Canaanites, which are Africans, Hamites, the Hittites, Africans, Hamites, the Perizzites, Africans, Hamites, the Jebusites, Africans, Hamites, the Ammonites, which are your so-called Japanese, and the Moabites, which is so-called Chinese, the Egyptians, Hamites, and the Amorites, which are also Hamites. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It named 8 different nations of people, 6 of which were Hamitic. That's and that trend continues throughout the scriptures. Why? Because the Hamites were in close proximity to us geographically. That's who we actually mingle with the most. Again, going from Egypt all the way to when we got put into slavery in West Africa. We was intermingling with them a lot. So we actually are closer genetically related to them than the so-called white man in most cases. All right. That again, that doesn't make us Hamitic. That doesn't make Africa our motherland. But technically, at this point in history, we are more closely related to the so-called African or Hamite than the so-called white man. Okay, even though we came out the same womb as them, we've been dealing with them. We've been dealing with the Hamite far more than we've been dealing with the Edomite over the course of from our inception as a nation to this point in time. Okay, I just want to put that out there. And we also was dwelling in their lands a lot. Again, we was going in Canaan, dwelling in there. We was dwelling in Egypt a lot. Going back to even the time of David, you had a lot of Israelites that were dwelling in Egypt. So just want to put that out there. So brothers, just everything is in perspective for brothers. And then this brother said, Polight said that the white man don't make a distinction from a kidnapped African and an African that's over there. But actually the so-called white man does in some points, because the so-called white man will give a so-called African or a Hamitic person certain advantages and incentives to come to this country to open up enterprises to exploit our people that he won't give to our people. Why is that? Because he knows we're not the same as them. That's the same reason why they made why the so-called Jews made that pact with the so-called Africans to go into them jungles and come get us up out of the interiors of Africa, because we're not them. So the so-called white man will make pacts with the actual Hamites and the actual Africans to come up against us. That's how he differentiates between us and them. So there is a distinction there, all right? Not your low-level, bird-brained so-called white man, but your high-level ones that are in the know and have the knowledge do make a distinction against us and them. Tell us we're them, yet at the same time play them against us, all right? What else we got here? Okay, now let's deal with the rib thing, okay? Because he's talking about God made the sun, the stars, the moon, and he got to insert a rib. First off, again, the brother, I felt like he didn't go all the way into it like he should have. When you read that story, what it's actually dealing with, it's actually dealing with a woman, meaning the Lord gave him a woman that was of his own people. His rib, meaning of his own people. That's what that symbolized. Because on the 5th day, he said on the 6th day. On the 5th day, I believe, let me make sure. It's the 5th day. I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to just make sure so brothers, so I don't misquote nothing, so I'm all the way on point. Was here in Sirach 8, 2nd Ezra's 8. What is this? 7. Right about here.